By now, we're all aware of the events that have led to the death of George Floyd in Minneapolis on Monday, May 25th, which have led to the most recent protests throughout our nation. We know that it didn't begin with the death of George Floyd, but multiple incidents over a long period of time that have led to the state of our nation.
Unfortunately, many peaceful protests have turned into violent expressions of anger, frustration, and grief. This is not only happening in large cities, but in small towns as well.
La Mesa is a suburb of San Diego and was one of those small towns that experienced a peaceful protest that turned violent. Businesses were vandalized, windows were broken, shops were looted, and 3 historical buildings were burned to the ground. It happened in La Mesa because we too have had recent incidents between a young African American man and a police officer only 2 days after the George Floyd incident.
I'm Reverend Elbert Kim, current pastor of La Mesa First United Methodist Church, located here in what is known as the village of La Mesa. During these past riot, our church sustained minor damages, a few broken glass, some vandalism. But we resonate with what happened just down the street. Our church, La Mesa First, has been here in La Mesa for the past 125 years. It's the first church here in this community. And during those years, this church has been in ministry, in providing a place of healing in times of crisis. This church has a long tradition of teaching and being able to minister in times of issues of social justice and equity in our community. And it has ministries that have brought together our community leaders as well as the public on issues that really affect the world around us. And I believe that this church will continue in providing a forum where, especially during this time, the pains and the struggles can be brought together in a constructive forum for us to come together and talk. I want to introduce you to Reverend Christian Dement, who will be the incoming pastor come July.
I'm Pastor Christian, the pastor of Santee United Methodist Church currently, but a lifelong resident of La Mesa, and, as Elbert said, the incoming pastor for La Mesa United Methodist Church. Saturday night was a difficult evening as we listened to helicopters circle our house for nearly 12 hours. I found it hard to explain to my 7-year-old son, Jack, what was going on and why it was happening. It was a time of fear, anxiety, frustration, and even anger as my wife Kelly and I watched businesses that we frequent on a regular basis be vandalized and destroyed. We had a tough time understanding all of those feelings at one time. As I walked from my house to downtown La Mesa the next day, which happened to be Pentecost, hope was filled in my heart. I saw hundreds of La Mesa residents coming together to work shoulder to shoulder in cleaning up. As I thought about this and have reflected on that experience, I realized that, yes, that was the beginning of some healing, but there is a lot of healing left to go. And the issues of this crisis have not ended, and the finish line of solving that crisis is far away. We believe in the kingdom of God. That is our finish line, and we hope that we will get to that place to experience the world in which God intends. La Mesa United Methodist Church will be focused on making that happen and be on the front lines of bringing people together and solving some of the issues that face our community and the surrounding communities as well. We wanted to share with you some of our thoughts and our expressions of pain and grief and let you know that we feel them just as much as you do. And that sometimes we just don't have the words that will fix the challenges ahead of us. But we're committed to confronting these issues and transforming them. We truly do believe that love will overcome hate.
And so in this time of transition, Pastor Christian and I will be joining with other faith leaders in our community in a time of prayer and fasting this coming weekend. And we invite you to be part of the faith response so that healing can begin in our community around us. We hope that God's grace and peace will be upon us all. Amen.